We're California Conservation Corps Crews 1 and 4 from Los Pinos, and this
On this week's Report on Conditions, we'll take a glimpse at some training that occurred on a vegetation management project at Lake Mathews. And we'll also see a vegetation fire that occurred in the community of Green Acres.
Engine 1 with report on conditions.
Hi, I'm Tawny Castro. Thanks for tuning in to today's Report on Conditions. We're starting this week off with our safety message. Let's take a look.
It seems like kids are made for water. They dive and splash and swim like they'll never need to come up for air. If only that were true. Each year, drowning is a leading cause of death for young kids. So, until they grow gills, swimming lessons, fences, and supervision help keep kids safe. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Let's check out how many calls for service the department received from June 2nd through June 8th. During that time, your firefighters responded to a total of 3,770 calls for service. Of those calls, 2,932 were medical emergencies and 111 were fire-related calls. Here's a look at a few of those incidents. Just before 7 p.m. on Wednesday, June 6th, dispatchers received reports of a traffic collision near the intersection of Highway 86 and Avenue 50 in Coachella. The first arriving engine company officer confirmed a vehicle versus a motorcycle, with the driver of the motorcycle requiring immediate medical aid. Once treated, they were transported to a local hospital with moderate injuries. Fortunately, no other injuries were reported. On Friday, June 6th, firefighters responded to multiple reports of vegetation burning at the 24200 block of Juniper Springs Road in the unincorporated Green Acres area. The first arriving engine reported 5 acres burning at a moderate rate of spread, with structures threatened. With quick work, the fire was contained within about 30 minutes. However, resources were on scene for approximately 5 hours doing extensive mop-up. Updated mapping showed the fire burned a total of 3.5 acres. One resident in the area was treated and transported for a medical emergency. There were no firefighter injuries. On Friday, June 6th, firefighters responded to a report of a vehicle on fire at the 33600 block of Gloria Road in the city of Menifee. The first arriving engine reported a fully involved vehicle fire on a dirt road. The fire was contained in approximately 12 minutes, and 2 engines were on scene performing mop-up for about an hour. There were no injuries to firefighters or civilians.
Today we're out at Lake Mathews on one of our VMPs with our C234 class here in the unit conducting a prescribed burn. VMPs are our vegetation management plans. It's where we come out and coordinate with land managers, complete our CEQA documents and surveys to allow us to come out here and do fuels management projects and or prescribed burns. The C234 class is firing methods and techniques for company officers and above here in the unit or across the state. We have students from San Diego and San Bernardino units, and along with the Riverside unit here. It's a class to teach students how to properly use the firing methods and techniques on wildland incidents and or prescribed fire. Particular to Lake Mathews, this is for resource management. This property here is highly sought after, the Stevens kangaroo rat habitat, in which eliminate the non-native grasses so that the Stevens kangaroo rat will survive and thrive after prescribed fire. Education on our part, educating the public, letting them know that prescribed fire is a good thing. Some people look at it as negative, but prescribed fire is enhancing the habitat, it has resource management benefits. It goes through our native species that are fire adaptive and thins them out and just allows us to have fuel consumption to where we can possibly stop large fires that would run into this project here. Challenges that we face today is a lot of the students are new to this, and we're trying to coordinate firing techniques and methods. What they learn in the classroom, coming out and putting it to use. It takes some coordination and effort between the cadre and the students to achieve the overall goal of the prescribed burn. Fuels management is huge across the state to alleviate large catastrophic fires. We do this with not only our prescribed burning, but we do it with our hand tools, bucking, brushing, thinning the forest, creating fuel breaks, etc. on all of our vegetation management plans or programs.
That's all for this week's Report on Conditions. Follow your firefighters in action on our social media at CAL FIRE RRU and stay up to date on incidents happening countywide. If you caught any great footage of our firefighters at work or out in the community, send them to us at rrupio@fire.ca.gov. On behalf of your Public Affairs and Community Education Bureau, I'm Tawny Castro. Thanks for watching.